Hello VRay users, Alex here, VRay Guide, and today we're going to talk about one of the coolest topics for exterior lighting, and that is sIBL. sIBL stands for Smart Image Based Lighting. Why it is smart? Because it's got this script that includes sun, environment, and also got nice transparent map if you do cars and stuff like that. So this method is most of the time used for bringing some cars, objects, or something that is more product design wise into life, into making realistic. So if you go to HDR Labs, you'll be able to find a lot of free of those for download, and you can find every once in a while really cool examples that can match exterior lighting. So you also can download here, if you go to software, you can download sIBL Edit. You can go and shoot your HDRIs with a real DSLR full frame camera and edit them so you can use your own environment, a real environment of your construction area. This is more complicated topic that needs much more time to cover. Shooting HDRIs and creating HDRIs is not an easy task. But if you get those HDRIs that already have the sIBL method, you can use the GUI, the guide user interface, to view them and to export them into VRay. And today I'm going to show you how you can use those free samples that we have on this site. And of course, we also have an HDRI Hub website. We have a really nice free package here that you can download and use for your exterior renders. All right, so let's get down to our business. And first thing, you need to download the sIBL Edit, just in case you need to edit and see and view and do some color, tone and mapping and change a little bit the colorization of those. So you probably will download the Windows version, and you need to download the sIBL GUI right here. You can also watch the video of this brilliant guy, how he actually works with his HDRIs, and doing some tone mapping and little explanation of how you can export it into VRay. So we have here VRay Standard and VRay Dome Light, which I don't think I have in my version, but after downloading those, you'll be able to work with it. And of course, the loader script, I think, is the one that actually connects. So I've downloaded it, I placed it in my scripts folder, and let's go check it out now, how we can view. This is the scene that we're going to use from our previous tutorial. So after installing it, it will ask you, where is your sIBL folder? So my sIBL folder also located here, right here. And as you can see, I've downloaded the GUI, and also I've downloaded the video to watch, and all of those HDRIs with the sIBL method located here. So each image got a preview, this is the background plate. You can see it's not overexposed, it's perfect. And of course we got the 3K for the lighting, and we got the environment. So both of those HDRIs, so they will actually throw a lot of light. And we have the IBL file also, which includes all the information for those. So let's launch our sIBL GUI. After launching it, it will ask you, where is your folder? So you need to say, here's my folder located, and then it will find it automatically and will load all the HDRIs with the previews to that software. All right, it's completely free, so no hassle here. And I used to play with it. It gives me Maya, VRay Standard, different templates to use. I don't use Maya. I mean, I do, but not for this tutorial. So here it is. We got this map. I got those cool HDRIs. As you can see here, we also have tropical, a lot of cool lighting. So for my example, I'm gonna use this one, harbor. No, actually gonna use the parking lot right here, the parking lot 2. You can find the same example on of this parking lot, I think here. Yep, so you can see how you can use to light up the car, and it's got nice reflections and everything, and a nice try of lighting an exterior house. Now we're gonna see how we can work this maybe a little bit better. Okay, so let's go back to our house. So here, if I click render, my scene doesn't have anything, so it's basically going to produce, you know, no shadows, everything going to be in black. Nothing much to see, so let's go ahead and see how we can light this thing up. As you can see, I only have a little bit of my landscape lighting just to indicate what's going on to my fence here. So let's go back to the GUI and sIBL GUI and select our image, double click. We can see all the location where it is, all the information here. We can view the background image. It's the background, the lighting image. You can see it's blurry, so it will throw really nice soft ambient light to it. The reflection image, very sharp. And the view plates, preview has no plate image type. Okay, so we don't have those. All right, now we're gonna go to export and we're gonna click output loader script. So we actually exported it. Now, if we click here, send to software, you need to link your packages, so it will automatically send it, and you do it through your sIBL script here. You gotta put it in your Max folder. But we're gonna do it a manual way. I call it a getaway because what I do here, I open the folder where this script was exported, open output directory. And I'm gonna go to my load run scripts. I'm gonna load it. This is a different one from yesterday. You can see I have the sIBL loader. What I'm gonna do is just, you know, drag and drop from one folder to another. Click continue and click open. All right. Now, after I opened it, I can see the whole thing was imported to my scene here, and if I just click render, we can see that this image is actually got lighting and background and ambient light already implemented into the scene. The background is a little bit off, and I'm gonna show you how you can fix that. If we go to environment, we can find the environment map that was automatically created. So we need to open our material editor and drag and drop this scene right here. Okay, so we can see that gamma correction was applied, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring it back to 1, and you can see that it went a little bit lighter. Another thing that this sIBL did actually was adding some maps into our environment right here. So if we go to our environment, we'll be able to find HDRIs for reflection, refraction, and all of those guys. So if we place those here in material editor slot, we can view the maps. What are those actually doing? So I kind of matched my background to match all of those for lighting and reflections. Okay, now the beautiful thing about it is, let's find the folder sIBL right here, and you can see that we have a new folder that was created, sIBL data. So we have the ground, the feedback, we have the lights. So the lights actually matching the sun point. We have the sun and we have the target. And if we select our feedback, or actually our data, file right here and we go into rotation, we can rotate it and the sun and everything will rotate together with this map. So let's find some cool location here, click render, and see how this guy renders. Right, so we already can see that the sun changed its position here, and we're getting nice backgrounds here, but it looks like our background is a little bit dark, so we can light it up to match our sun exposure. Let's do a small region here of a background and see how it works. Alright, so the render went pretty fast, and we can see definitely that we need to light up our background. So what I'm gonna do is gonna go to our background here and light it up with like 300 and do another region. Alright, the render is done and looks pretty good, pretty light up. And I think it's a good time to go and render the whole image and see what it takes us. Alright, so one important thing before we render this, it is very important to go and to save your images as override gamma 2.2, and in that case you don't really need to correct your gamma. Alright, so just leave it as it is with the inverse gamma here at the background and increase your lightness here, your lighting multiplier, the exposure, by as much as you need in order to match your background to your image. And when you're done, you can go ahead and render it with the regions switched off. All right, so I'm gonna click yes. Yeah, now it looks much better. So let's give this render a few minutes and let it run through. Alright, so the render is done. It took about 10 minutes to render. Big quality. If you do small tests, you can do it with less, but it all looks pretty good. I mean, the sun is a little bit sharp here. We can soften it. It's a VRay sun. So if we go and select our sIBL here, we can find the sun, and as you can see here, the intensity is 0.34. It's already adjusted, but the size is 1. So if we make the size a little bit bigger, let's put it 4, for example, the shadows would get much softer here. Let's take a sample test right here and see how the shadows getting softer. Alright, so the value of 4 didn't give much, but the value of 7 gave much better. I guess it's because the sun is really far away. But the higher you go, you can put about 10 or 12 and make much softer shadows. Okay, overall it's looking pretty decent. I mean, you get the sun, the environment, and everything synchronized. So just take one thing, rotate it, and it all will follow. And if you want to use a different sIBL, what you gotta do is probably go here, select a different one. Let's select something more interesting for that sake of idea. How about something like this, more casted, or we can get direct channel. We can get a really sunset looking area. But as you see here, all of those, they have platforms, so they're much more convenient for objects and less for buildings, unless it's an open area like this one. Okay, so let's, for example, try the basketball or try the Grand Canyon here. Double click, export, output, load file. The file was exported. Now we go back here and we run script, and we open that folder, drag and drop, continue. Yes, you don't really have to do it. You can just say put all the files in that folder and override them, but I like to keep the idea. All right, so the new map was loaded. Let me just move my render to a side and close all the panels here. So you can see we got a different image, and if we rotate it, select the data, we can rotate it and everything will follow. All right, so you can take it now to Photoshop. Let's open Photoshop, drag and drop this image, do some color adjustments. You can see it's a little bit washed out, but I actually like having my images with less contrast because it gives me much better working space. If I want to add contrast, it will be much easier than to remove it. And you can see by simply adjusting the curves and the levels, we can get the really nice tonality out of that image. Of course, you can do that in 3DsMax and VRay, so you will have really nice sharp image. But I always, as I said before, I always gotta have that working pixel depth. So I do my images a little bit washed out, so I can apply different color balance and different effects and darken the image rather than lighten it up. All right, so something like that. Okay, cool stuff. We get reflections. If you rotate it a little bit more, you can get better reflections. You can test it out. If you have any questions, post them below this video, and of course download this scene and make your tests. And soon we're gonna launch our exterior challenge, so make sure to open the next upcoming emails with this cool information about exterior lighting. Right? So thanks a lot for watching. This is Alex, your VRay guide. Talk soon. Ciao.